What's going on, folks? Eddie here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So today we're installing a stuffed turbo. What it is when you take a stock turbo, you have it opened up and then have a larger wheel stuffed in it. This is definitively the one you want to do if you don't want to mess around with having to change your lines or having to take off the exhaust side of the turbo. The easy thing about doing one of these is you're only replacing the compressor side of the turbo. A much simpler install and is a far quicker install. You can do this in about an hour if you move through it and you're competent under the hood. Someone who's really good could probably knock this off in about 30 minutes. Now, once it's all done, we're gonna pop this thing up on the dyno and see how much power it makes. So this is the new turbo going on the car. It doesn't look any different physically on the outside until you look inside. So if you take a look at these two turbos, you'll see that the inlet is opened up more on this turbo. So the reason that's like that is so this much larger wheel can fit in. So what we're looking at here is a 42mm turbo. The turbo that's coming off the car is 34. So this is an 8mm larger turbo. I'd be happy to see another 20-30 horsepower from this thing, but I really don't know what it's gonna do yet. We'll find out in a few minutes. Either way, I'm super excited. B-band off on the turbo, so I can now divorce the compressor from the exhaust side. Now I still have that one bolt on the underside of the turbo connected, and I'm going to gently pull it out of the exhaust side. You gotta be really careful, you don't want to damage the exhaust side of the turbo.
So you gotta pull the 3 bolts for the diverter valve.
Turbo's on the car, so now we're gonna dyno it and see how much power it's making on the exact same tune. There's no changes to the calibration file, and just as a reminder, on this tune file, on this dyno, about 1 week ago, using the stock turbo, the car made 198 horsepower. So after the first pull, it was apparent that there was something going on with the car. The last time it was on the dyno, John was having trouble getting a nice clean curve across on the car. He thought potentially it was the spark plugs in the car, but this time it had actually gotten worse. Now, turns out it's not the plugs though. So what I want you to do is listen to this sound. Alright, so what that is a defective MultiAir brick. Now you'll notice that as the RPMs went up, the clicking started getting much more defined. That was the ECU switching MultiAir phases, and when it switches over to really leverage the MultiAir, it sounds terrible. So this is just a defective multi-air brick. So unfortunately, we couldn't go any further with the power on this car. So obviously something needs to be done, and yeah, you folks want to see what one of these turbos will do on a car. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna take this turbo off this car and we're gonna throw it on the 500 Abarth, and we're gonna show you what kind of power that turbo can make on that car instead. Really, the cars are so similar. The 500s have a tiny bit less drivetrain loss, but that only really equates to a small difference in peak horsepower. So we'll be able to use the 500 to at least ballpark what this will do for your car. Anyhow, as far as the 124 goes, yeah, I've decided to do something else with the 124. Bolting on all the parts is a lot of fun, and you know, we did that through with the black 124, and that was pretty good. I enjoyed that. But I've decided I don't really want to go through all of the bolting on little pieces here and there with this 124. So the next time you see the 124, we're taking the engine out. It's time to do something much better with this car. Now, I've been talking about putting the built engine in this thing for a while, and I'm so excited to start actually ripping the engine out of this thing. But this time, there's a little bit of a twist. I made a small decision about how we're gonna be doing this, but I'm not gonna tell you what that is quite yet. You'll find that out in the next episode with the 124. I'm super excited with what we're about to do. This next step is gonna be absolutely epic. All right, folks, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.